All right, fellas. Once again, we are here for another exciting episode of the Point Walk to Walk Hoop Talk, where our goal, as always, is to help fans, players, and coaches become more intellectual inside the game. You know, it's just three dudes having a conversation. You know, it's our old school views and new school news. So the big topic on the minds of all tonight is he's back. LeBron James made his 2025-26 debut last night, and it was a dandy. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. I'm Troy Miles, and I am here to tell you about the virtual game of basketball. Yes, the math, physics, and fundamentals, forward by Lenny Wilkins. If you haven't read this book, it's time to cop a copy. Time to cop a copy. Indeedy. Anyway, if you love basketball, you will love the virtual game of basketball. Really, it's the martial arts of basketball, all wrapped up into a nice little, easy to digest book. You'll love it. Trust me on that. All right, fellas, the king is back. The Los Angeles Lakers last night took on a game. Utah Jazz last night, but it was just too much of everybody. And that man, LeBron James, the wily old veteran, did more than his thing. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Ed.
Ed is no longer in the building.
Gone.
Ed has left us. Craig, he should be returning here in a second. I will say this. We said a lot of things leading up to his return, and it seems that we were able to look into a crystal ball and come up with some pinpoint analysis. You know, no brag, but it seems like we are on point and have an idea what we're talking about. We said three specific things in relation to LeBron, and they all seem to come true. We were concerned about how he would fit in, but we were more convinced that his superior basketball IQ and his genius at being the teammate would prevail, and that's exactly what we saw last night.
And as we saw that, I mean, that's what you wanted to see from him. Could he, you know, because it's tough at this age, probably, and for most people, maybe not for him, for most people, when you're used to being the dominator, you seem to want to still fit into that role, even though you may not have the same domination from start to finish. And I think what he's mastering, what he'll master is that knowing when to be the king and when to just be the player. So I think that's where I think his genius will come to fruition is that he's as smart as we think he is and we believe he is. Then those things that he needs to do in order for their team to be complete aren't hard for him to adjust to, because that's just who he is as a professional player, you know.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'm not surprised. You know, LeBron James haters have to be the most downtrodden fans in the history of sports. I mean, you know, all he does is rise to the occasion. So many occasions, and what he did last night was just remarkable to see, because you know it was a little bit of rust in the beginning. You know, they had some, you know, they had to figure a few things out, but like you said, he just fell back into his natural role as a facilitator, because he's a facilitator first. I mean, he's the all-time leading scorer, but he has more Magic Johnson qualities than anything else. And so I wasn't concerned at all. I knew that we talked about it. I knew that he was gonna make sure that Luca and AR stayed on their path, and that he would just naturally find other guys and include them organically. And so I didn't see anything that would take away from what the Lakers were trying to do with his addition. I just thought it would just add another high intellectual player to the mix. And then when you watch them play, I mean, they're exciting to watch. All right, Ed is back. We don't know what happened to him, but we're happy to have him back. You haven't missed much. We've just been talking about how seamlessly LeBron James fit into the mix last night, and not to the surprise of any one of us, because he met all the expectations that we talked about in the last episode. So no surprises at all. I think that I was just telling Craig that watching LA last night was fun to watch, and moving forward, I really put them with the upper echelon of the teams in the West.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I was mentioning earlier, I think if Aton is able to play his role, as defense, rebound, block shots from time to time, and run the floor, get those easy backers off the high pick and rolls, transition, they're gonna have a chance to. They're gonna be looking dangerous, man. We're very dangerous. And as far as yesterday, I think LeBron did exactly what I thought he was gonna do. When the game first started, you can see he was a little off. His timing was off.
Correct.
He wasn't all the way there, like I said, which was, you can expect that. But like you said earlier, he went back to his default mechanism and did what he was normal to him, and that's find open players.
Right.
To me, that's what makes him so good. That's what differentiates him from the Kobe's and the Jordans or whatever. He's more of a facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
He does what he needs to do at that particular time, and if he continues to play the way he's playing, they're gonna be tough, man. They're gonna be tough. If AR can continue to stay confident and aggressive, because I'm not worried about Luka. Luka gonna get his regardless.
Right.
If AR can stay dangerous and aggressive, it's gonna make LeBron even nastier when he has to step up and do what he needs to do. So as of right now, at this particular time, they're very dangerous. The Lakers are dangerous right now.
Well,
If they
yes,
can stay
man.
healthy.
It's what I was saying. Can you imagine with the way AR and Luca are playing, to have
Mhm.
the luxury of having an all-time great in the tertiary role? I mean,
Yeah.
if he just has to be himself. He doesn't have there's nothing that he has to do other than be himself in the way he plays organically, because he just makes it easier for Aiden. He makes it easier for guys. Even they mentioned that last night that JJ went to lean more heavily on his spot up players.
Laravia
Gave
and
them
Gabe Vincent, yeah, he did.
correct, gave them some
Yes.
extra wings, because it
Mhm.
it it fit in line with what LeBron does naturally. And so I
Agreed.
don't think there's no takeaway. There's only the addition of an all-time great. As long as he
Yeah.
stays inside the pocket and stays within his role, I don't see, like I said, I think this makes them one of the top teams in the West as we stand.
I
Then
agree.
okay, so then with that being said, who would be the teams that would be ahead of the Lakers that you would look at and say, okay, this is where their matchups, you have to see what their matchups look like against what teams would those be?
Well, they
I
gotta
say
play the champs
Oklahoma.
again. They gotta play the champs again.
Oklahoma right off the top. Right away,
Correct,
it's Oklahoma.
correct.
Houston. I like to see him against Houston. And
And
who
Denver.
else?
Speaking
Denver,
of
There you go. Those
Denver's
top
looking
three.
good.
Yes,
yeah,
those top three. See,
speaking of
Denver's they're vets. They've played with each other for a long time. So, like I said, they're not
and
going to fall off too far.
and Houston is long, and they play
Yes,
incredible defense.
yes,
Those boys
yes.
do. So they're built for a playoff series the way Houston's built. They have they
Hmm.
have they have all they have all the parts. up, and they're getting it done without a quote unquote point guard right now.
True.
So,
Right.
but one of the reasons is they play staunch defense, man, and they've
Hmm.
got
They do.
they've got Shingon playing on the all world level,
Oh yeah.
and what do you call him, Ed? And they got easy. What do you call him? Easy,
Easy
easy,
money sniper.
easy money sniper
That's
in
what
the
they
mix.
call him. Yeah.
Yeah, and
He gets it done.
they're getting step up play from Jabari Smith,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're getting excellent play from Reed Shepherd at the moment also. But but
Thompson.
it, but Thompson plays such a vital role. He does so many things for them, and he spearheads their defense. I'm telling you, I'm really impressed with what Houston does. They put it on Cleveland tonight,
They're
and they
well
Yeah.
made it.
coached too, man. They're
Yeah,
well
they're
coached.
very well
Dunk
coached.
is good.
They
Yeah.
made it tough. They made it tough on Cleveland, and I see them. And you asked who the top teams are. I look to those teams as teams that LA
Well,
is going to
well,
have a
well,
challenge.
I just think the West is just so tough. It's so
It's wide
deep.
open, ain't it? It's wide
I
open.
mean,
Yeah.
because now
Yeah.
look, hey, don't turn your back because San Antonio just got De'Aaron Fox back,
Yeah.
and and I mean they're tough. I mean the Warriors. I think the Warriors are going to be. They're going to hover right around that spot because I think
Six
for
and seven,
them,
6, 7.
yeah, 6, 7. Because you
Yeah.
know what?
That's that's what it
They
looks
can't
like.
they can't win enough games.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have enough youth to win enough of those games on those
Yeah.
nights when, Steph has to, the nights when Steph can't be Steph or Jimmy can't be
Yeah.
Jimmy, and they can't
True.
do that a full 82 games. So, they'll pick and choose their nights when
I
when they're going to be who they need to be.
I
But
think that they'll be tough in the series. They just have to get on the same page with Kaminga and Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry and some of the other parts they're trying to fit into the mix. I think it remains to be seen. I think that's a team that's gonna keep getting better throughout the year, and in the end, like
right,
always, a team that people don't want to play in the playoffs. Um,
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
for now, it looks like they're lagging a little bit, but they have such veteran leadership, and they've been there so many times that I'm not ready to count the Warriors out of anything right as it
Well,
stands right now.
They'd
and
definitely be a tough out.
yeah, it's funny because like we sit here and we could talk about nothing but the West all night long because
True.
I still don't know who from the East can. I mean, you would think that obviously Boston without having Tatum
Mm-hmm.
just killed them. I mean, even as good as Philly could be, you can see those nights where they're still not ready to consistently be there because they got to rely on, you got to rely on Edgecombe in order for them to
Mm-hmm.
ascend to the top, and then Milwaukee, you look at them and it's like, you know, a Giannis has to be a superhero every night, you
You don't
know.
know who you're gonna get. You don't know who you're gonna get with Milwaukee every night. You have no idea.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So you're. I mean, I don't even know who you looked at in the East and you go, man, once this all shakes out and you go for who is it going to be?
It
I
could
just
be
got to,
it very well
It
could
could
be
be
the
the
Knicks.
Knicks.
It could
Could
be
it
the
be.
could be
Knicks.
the Knicks.
It could
And
be.
I'm just watching them.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got, they've got enough chemistry together. They got enough
Mm-hmm.
youth. They've got enough, they got a great point guard, and it looks like he's trying to be more of the general than happen to be, the main guy, so it looks like
Yeah.
he's doing a little bit more of that, but that's probably due to style of coaching and philosophy of how
Uh-huh.
they want to play each night, so
Speaking of the
it's
East,
interesting. Yeah.
let me ask you this: Indiana, Halliburton's gone. They traded Turner, or lost Turner during free agency. which one is hurting them the worst? When I last looked, I think they were 1-11. So what's hurting them the worst? Both, or just Halliburton
Both,
not being
man.
there to
You know, we've talked about this before. This happened to your Lakers in 2020. I think
chemistry?
just take chemistry
Yes,
for granted.
yes,
I
I
mean,
agree totally.
you act as though players are replaceable, but it's a formula.
Yep,
It's like
yep.
fine cuisine. It's the ingredients, but it's the right proportions of this, that, and the
hmm
other. You
You just
don't
went
want
to
to
you just went
change,
to the finals. They just went to the
right?
finals,
You
and
don't want to
you
get
making changes to your starting five. Come on, man. Come
two
on.
There,
changes, one
I-
voluntary and one involuntary.
yeah, but
there's
still,
only
like I said, I'm gonna do whatever I can to keep that dude in town. I'm keeping Turner
there's
at home. Stay
yeah, there's only there, there's only a handful of players that you can plug and play. There's only a
true,
handful of them,
true,
and
yes,
and and
true.
and, and you that no matter what system, their skill, their IQ, their
hmm
experience, that you know, there's only a few players like that in the league. Braun is
hmm
probably the best at it, but if you threw like a Kevin Durant, you throw a Steph Curry, there's very few in the
I agree.
league that I look
I
at and
agree.
I would be like, are plug and play.
hmm
So, and
True.
that's where you guys said, you know, what your GMs, they think that they're going to be, they're going to get one over on somebody, and what they do is they
No, man.
deplete their roster, and next thing you know, they're looking up from the bottom, like you said, they're 1-13.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Season's almost over already.
That's I mean, you're right.
Yeah,
They're getting into that area where this season's a wash. I mean,
it's a wash.
um,
It is a wash.
hey,
Yes.
hey, you know, speaking of wash, I think the things that we're doing are super clean. I know that's a corny correlation, but I think the things that our analysis has been pinpoint, and I was talking to Craig earlier about this. A lot of things that are going on in and around what's happening in the NBA. You're hearing it here first. Um, the things the topics that we're talking about, they're trendy. The analysis that we're given seems to be on point, like the title says. And I'm
yeah,
speaking of, and specifically, a lot of the things we were talking about earlier in the season, even going back in the summer league, we were talking about who we thought the top rookies were going to be for the upcoming season, and
hmm
we're going to talk about the rookie rankings in just a moment.
Keep on rocking.
So, fellas, the rookies are rising and things are starting to shake themselves out. Right now, at the top of the list, I'd have to give that nod to Han Kneppel, the Wisconsin boy, via Duke, is doing his thing. He's playing like a seasoned veteran. He's been consistent. He leads all rookies in scoring. He's set a NBA record for the most threes to start a season. He is a legitimate star already as a rookie. Who are you guys' top rookie picks?
Go ahead, Craig.
well, when we originally talked about this, we talked about Ace Bailey, and we
hmm
talked about Edgecombe, and we talked about Cooper Flag. But really,
hmm
when we thought about it, it doesn't surprise me somebody like Khan isn't one of those, because his game, he doesn't have to, the way that he gets it done, he doesn't have to overdo anything that he's doing out on the floor. That's his game is simple.
hmm
It's very
He
simple.
play.
And
He's
so
playing the same game he played at Duke. It hasn't
Mhm.
changed.
that's
He looks
that,
exactly
that's
the
what
way
it
he
is.
does at Duke.
N- Now he
Exactly.
just gets more
Nothing's changed.
opportunity. Yes, he gets
Exactly.
more opportunities.
All he knows is I can play with anybody.
Uh,
That's what he
And
knows
and and,
now.
and, and it comes
Yes.
down to, his IQ and his understanding of his own skill set, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely,
And so
What
definitely.
so
that
so
that
that
that's part of yeah, that's right, Craig. You know, it's funny because Ed and I just said that. We were
yeah.
talking, and we were talking about how it's so important for a player not only to know his capacity, but to also
Hmm.
know his limitations. And if you can stay inside those two, those two headers, then you're a solid performer. And
Hmm.
that's what he
True.
appears to be right from the gate, solid, and he appeared that way right from the beginning during the summertime.
Well,
Yeah.
you know
I,
what's
I,
gonna what would hurt him is what would hurt him is he's in Carolina. You know that'll hurt him as well. They're not winning, right? And like I said, they're not gonna have too many chances to be seen on TV a lot. So he got a little bit more of a hill to climb, and it's early in the season. I think the rookie of the year is gonna come out when later on in the second half of the season when things start to mesh out where you know who the top teams are, and if VJ, if Cooper Flag and him got a terrible record right now. See, but if VJ and him
yes.
are fighting in the East and he's playing well, you've seen him on TV a lot. The young cat from Harper's son from San Antonio, he's gonna
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
some good looks because they'll be in the playoffs. See what I'm saying? They're gonna be fighting for position. So uh, you know, I still give VJ, in my opinion, a little bit of an edge because of what he's done early, and most people are excited about dunks and things of that nature. So I'll give him a little bit of an edge. But I agree with what you were saying, Troy. He has to be more aggressive. He got to understand his position, and he's got to go get it. He got to be aggressive. Win, lose, or
I,
draw,
And,
go get it.
I,
and, yeah.
go ahead,
There,
Craig.
there's there's nothing, and there's nothing with like I'll say this statement. There's nothing wrong with this, but you can tell the difference between playing with your game when you're playing with a lot of athleticism, which I think
Hmm.
what Edgecombe does, and I think he looks really good at nights because his athleticism is so
Hmm.
demanding out there on the floor. But what happens is you see those lulls because the athleticism doesn't match up with the intelligence, doesn't match up with the flow. So it's like
I
he's
agree.
got to figure that out. He's got to figure that out. He can't come in and just be the high riser, he's got to find out how to make solid basketball plays when they're demanded for what he
He
has.
he
Well, I think he has the
also
intelligence. I think he needs the experience.
Well,
yeah, but
that
and he
to
also
me
he
that's
also have
one in the
vets.
same. Yeah, yeah,
He also have
yeah,
vets on his team. He has Embiid. So he has Maxey. Like I said, there's a pecking order. And like I said,
yeah,
it has to take it takes a special kind of rookie to come in and just I don't care. I'm gonna do what I do. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So I can see the mental side of him. Kind of
Yeah,
stepping back a little bit and seeing it, do your thing, and then I'm gonna try to fill in. I think that'll change later on in the season, though. Like you said, Nick
Mhm.
Nurse. Early in the week, Nick Nurse put him to the side and like, hey man,
right,
I need you to do certain things because there's certain things that you can do that other players on this team can't do. He'll get
That's
right.
exactly
yeah,
what
but
we
but, but
talked
he'll
about in the
get an
last
understanding of that.
episode.
He'll get an understanding of that later on and down the road. And Embiid and Maxi, it's up to them to make sure he's comfortable and having him. Don't second guess any shots he take. Nick, be aggressive, bro. Be aggressive. Do
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
When he gets that, I think he'll be fine.
Well,
Yeah,
I think that's
but that
exactly
that
what we talked about last episode. I mean, we were saying the same thing that he
Hmm.
needs to be more assertive.
Yeah.
He's explosive in spots, but he has attributes that the other players
No one.
may not have
No.
despite his inexperience,
Hmm.
despite him being a rookie. But
Yeah.
you talk about him being second. I think that I would give the nod, the second place nod at the moment. I would give it to the kid from Washington State, which is Cedric Coward. Ed, I know you said you haven't got a chance to
I haven't even got a
watch him
chance to see him. No.
plays down for the Grizzlies. I think
yes,
I think he's establishing himself as another player who doesn't look the role doesn't look the part of a rookie. His contributions are on line with what Canepa is doing, playing in the way that
Hmm.
you would expect a veteran to perform.
He 1,000% could be like Kawhi Leonard. No questions asked. Cedric Coward, if he can get better with the ball, has the potential to be like a Kawhi Leonard. He's already a really good defender. At this age right now, he's a better shooter than Kawhi was. Not quite as athletic as Kawhi was, but I think Cedric Coward, player comp, healthy Kawhi Leonard. His game has great pace to it. He has great length, uses his size well, can defend up, can defend down. Like, I really think, and obviously, like, Kawhi worked his off, right, to become Kawhi. Like, obviously, Cedric got to put the work in. But if he do put the work in, and if he do love this, he 1,000% could be like Kawhi Leonard.
Contrasting Ace Bailey, who's more of a Bambi. He's more of a Bambi type
He's a
player.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a baby. And I will put Jeremiah Fears and in that top group, and Derek Queen is coming. Derek Queen is maybe over the long haul, he may actually be the top guy, one of the top guys from this class. But I certainly think Cooper Flagg has, even though he's right there. He's like we mentioned that he was going to have a tough time because of the veteran presence. AD's been out of the lineup, and they've been leaning on Cooper, and Cooper actually has been playing. I mean, forget about being 18 years old. He's been doing a hell of a job for a rookie.
It's a blessing in disguise, the injuries that Dallas have right now. It's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because he has to do everything. Well, he has other veterans winning, but at the same time, he has more responsibility than he would if AD and Kyrie was there. So, like I said, it's going to be helpful for him in the long run if he continues to, as long as they're out. And he's doing well, to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think, when we get around that 35, 40 games, and then you start tipping over to the other side of the
There you go.
season, now you start seeing when it kind of like, okay, this is who this is going to be for the rest of this season, and you'll see those top rookies, make their mark as the second part of the season comes along, and that's when you'll find out, who is your rookie of the year, so but it's always fun to just, see where these guys place themselves, because we've seen them in college and what they did in college. Now, okay, what is their next phase and step? And it doesn't always come at once for them. I mean, some guys it takes a little bit longer to adjust, and some, they like Khan looks like he's a veteran already. You know, all the other players that were drafted in the top of those spots, they look like they're going to be good, experienced pros, but he just looks like he's more ready right now for what they're asking him to do and for what he's capable of doing and the discipline he has
It's
to
a
do
skill
it.
set. It's his skill set. That's what it is. It's nothing but his skill set. I think Ace Bailey is one it's gonna take him a little minute to really see how good he is, because you can see him flashes. He's athletic.
Correct.
He gets anywhere he wants. He's gonna be fine. It's gonna take time.
He's just a baby.
He's a baby. He's a baby. Yeah. Let me ask you this: where's Yugi? Where's Yugi? And also the big kid from Portland, the Asian kid, Yang, or
we haven't seen Jan. I'm forgetting his name. That's how quick basketball time goes, because Yang played well in the summertime, and we expected to see him. But Portland is one of the surprises in the West. We talk about we talk about the West, having some high level teams. Portland, you can put Portland in that despite the early season controversies. What they've been able to do over in Portland is admirable.
I agree.
He's got,
it's just it's just like
it's got them playing.
Yes, he does.
Thiago Splitter.
Yes, Splitter Ace. But
Thiago Splitter.
And you can just see the influence of of the San Antonio environment and all these
Yeah,
different coaches
definitely,
throughout the league.
definitely.
And it's a successful formula. But there's a team that we're disrespecting 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I'm gonna guess and say the 2023 season, we sat and watched the Pistons lose 10 straight. And then here we are in 2025
Yes,
watching that that
yes.
that same core of guys win 10
You're
straight.
right.
So we
You're
we
right.
we didn't they deserve some propers from us,
Right.
Hey,
fellas, in terms of
Yeah.
teams in the East that are up and coming. Because I tell you, the things that Jalen Duren is doing is
He's playing well.
impressive.
Yeah.
He's really scaled his game. He's handling the
Mm-hmm.
ball. He's able to get to different places on the floor, and his which makes his now it makes his physical strength more imposing than it was, previously. It
Mm-hmm.
makes him tough to deal with offensively. He's quicker. Um, they're fun to watch, and Cade Cunningham is is,
oh,
is
yes.
is establishing himself not
He's a
only
star.
as an
He's
NBA
a star.
All-Star, but maybe
Legit.
an Olympian candidate. He might be an
Absolutely.
Olympian candidate.
No
But
doubt.
it's
No
always
doubt about it.
but see that's what I've said about different players is I watched K play a lot at Oklahoma State when he was at
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State. And then you knew he had everything, but it took him some time. Obviously, Detroit had to put together a package that could help him become better because it took them
Yeah.
maneuvering their roster in order for them to get to where they're at. But just it's taken him, what is it? Was he's like fifth year in the league, fourth, fifth year in the
Oh, he
league,
fought fifth. Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
fifth year. That's why I keep asking about your guy in Charlotte. Is he going to continue to help them, or is he going to be? He
He's
looked really good one
He's gonna
night,
be
and
fine,
then some
man.
nights you go.
he's
Maturity.
he's, 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 go-
It's
he's gonna
maturity.
be fine. But I tell you, the one thing that I'm really disappointed in is that, and I'm sure this is gonna come, but he's not shooting the ball very well. And he's always had a hard time staying in the lineup, but he's really having a tough time shooting the ball, and he has such a belief system that it's hard for him not to take certain shots. As a matter of fact, down the stretch tonight, he sat the last 5-6 minutes of the game, and they were still in it.
He's been
But
hurt,
they
hasn't he?
went. He's been hurt, but he's been back.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think he's been on. I don't think it was a matter of minutes restrictions. I just think um, that Charles just decided that tonight the way Canepa was shooting the ball and the way the feng shui of the way things were going, I think he just opted to go in a different direction because LaMelo was not shooting well, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like you said, Craig. He's not bashful
Yeah,
about
I mean,
putting that thing, shooting that
yeah,
thing.
there ain't a shot
I
he didn't
still
like.
think I still think that the Charlotte could have possibly won the draft. With James, Kalkbrenner, and Kneppel. Those are three talented rookies. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
help. They're gonna help Charlotte in the long run. I think they did. I think they did a great job getting those guys in, and Colin and adding Colin Sexton to the mix. It just gives them veteran leadership, gives them another scoring option,
Mm-hmm.
another person who you know
Well,
um, who's had success in the league. So I think Charlotte's going in a good direction. I think, like Ed says, I, Lamel's going to figure it out. He's a good kid. He's in touch, but I would not be surprised if they went in a different direction from him, just based
I
on
said that. I
how he
said that
plays.
already. I said that. I told his success may come elsewhere. Real quick, before we leave Detroit, I want to go back to Detroit real quick. Man, is Joe Dumars still the GM? Is he still GM in Detroit or no? I'm not sure, but that's
I
here. That's
don't
not
think.
here. Either here or there. But No,
let me look him up.
I'm not sure. Yeah, because like I said, somebody has put together a nice squad. They got a nice squad, and they had a nice playoff run last year. I don't know if it was 1 round, 2 rounds, but they fought. I remember Cave and them fought in that. They got better. They got better in that last year's playoff series, and it's showing now. Because I watched a little bit of them, man. They balling, man. They playing well.
Real quick, Joe Dumars is the executive. He's the head of basketball operations currently for the Pels.
Yeah, for the Pelicans.
Pelicans.
That's who I thought he was with. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I always root
Which
for.
I can say.
Yeah.
Fierce and Queen, like I said, they're going to help that organization. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that I always root for people that I've kind of known a little bit when they were younger, and nobody could have told me that JB Bickerstaff would be where he's at. I mean, I knew those little kids when we used to run the camps for the Sonics, and Bernie was the coach for the Sonics out here. And Troy, my teammate dated his sister for the longest time, Sydney. So I've known those little Bickerstaffs for the longest time. Now to see him, and and to see him take over, which was a tough job, that Detroit job, because he took over for Monty after that bad year, and they and they paid Monty a lot of money, and he had to come in.
Which was
after
surprising that they let Monty go. I'm surprised Monty did that happen to him first and foremost, and then secondly that he hasn't gotten another opportunity. That's surprising to me.
Well,
great
Monty
guy.
got 20. Monty got 20. Monty got 20 from Detroit, and I think another 9 or 10 from the other squad that he's at. So I think he'll resurface.
Oh, no, Monty.
I think his
Monty got
Go ahead.
Monty got a 6-year. What was it, 6 years, $67 million from Detroit? Yeah, Monty ain't hurt.
Yeah.
Monty ain't hurt.
He's kind of like Gilbert Arenas. He's kind of like when Gilbert Arenas said, "Man, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm sitting on bank." It was like it had to be the perfect situation, or I'm like, "Oh, you guys don't really need me," or "You guys don't want." I'm chilling. Gilbert Skill said, I was chilling. I mean, I got the paper.
Yeah, and I'm not counting Monty's money, because you know what? He loves the game. Obviously he loves the game, but it's a lot easier to love the game. When you got those digits behind you.
Oh, and it's a lot easier to find love, period, when you got digits like that. I asked the lady one time, would you still think I'm this fine if I wasn't independently wealthy?
Yeah.
And said we must be at the end. Yeah, we are, fellas. We're at the end of another telecast.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially at the end of another telecast. It goes by so fast, but we appreciate you. If you sat and gave us your time and attention for this fast and furious 30 minutes of basketball, what would you call it, fellas? Basketball, it's something like that, but we appreciate you. If this is your first time watching, please like, please comment, please subscribe. We appreciate that. We're here every Thursday, 4 p.m. doing our thing. Like I said, it's just 3 guys having a conversation, old school views, and definitely talking about new school news. Fellas, what say thee?
Once again, it was fun.
He said, once again, it was fun. Peace out. You guys are ready? You guys ready to go that quick? Let's go an extra 30 today. Put some extra time into it. What are you guys thinking?
No, sir.
No, sir. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna catch you the next time. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one.